This is what happens when an abdominal aortic aneurysm ruptures, and it's one of the most dangerous emergencies in medicine. An abdominal aortic aneurysm, or AAA, often develops silently. For years, the aorta, which is the body's main artery, slowly weakens, most commonly from atherosclerosis, smoking, chronic high blood pressure, and aging. As the wall weakens, the vessel begins to bulge outward, stretching thinner with every heartbeat. Most people feel nothing while this is even happening. This is why aneurysms are so dangerous. As the diameter grows, the risk rises sharply. Once the AAA reaches about 5.5 centimeters, the chance of rupture will increase dramatically. When rupture occurs, blood rapidly escapes into the abdomen or retroperitoneal space. This causes sudden, severe abdominal or back pain, often described as tearing or crushing, followed by a rapid drop in blood pressure, collapse, and hemorrhagic shock. At that point, survival depends almost entirely on how fast emergency surgery can begin. Even with rapid care, the mortality rate is high. That's why screening matters. A simple ultrasound can detect aneurysms early, and many guidelines recommend one-time screening for men over 65 with a history of smoking. Have you ever heard of an abdominal aortic aneurysm before? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow into your health IQ.
A polar vortex isn't actually a kind of storm. It exists in the atmosphere all year long, and there are two of them, one above each pole. They're basically a huge band of strong winds that contain a mass of frigid air, and they spin high above the poles in the stratosphere. The stronger the winds are, the more contained that cold air is. And the northern polar vortex flows above the polar jet stream, which sits closer to the surface of the Earth in the troposphere. When the polar vortex is strong, it encourages the jet stream to keep the cold air in the north. And when that happens, the jet stream is pretty straight and predictable. Kind of like how a fast-moving bicycle more easily follows a straight line than a super slow one. But when the polar vortex is disturbed, it can slip off the pole or even split, causing the jet stream to wobble. Its path becomes wavy, and Arctic air spills out to the mid-latitudes, sometimes as far south as Florida. That's when places experience sudden cold snaps, and the effects can linger for weeks. So the polar vortex isn't new, but what is changing is how often it destabilizes, and scientists are still studying how climate change is influencing that behavior.
They call it the loneliest planet in the universe. Not because it's small, not because it's cold, but because it's completely alone. This planet doesn't orbit a star. It drifts through space in total darkness. No sunrise, no sunset, just endless night. Temperatures drop so low that even light struggles to survive. There's no warmth, no nearby planets, no solar system. Scientists call these worlds rogue planets. They were once part of something, then thrown away. Some of them wander for billions of years without ever seeing a star again. If you stood on one of these planets, the sky wouldn't glow. It would be pure black. No stars, no moon, no hope. Just silence, floating forever in the cold emptiness of space. So here's the question. Is the loneliest place in the universe really out there? Or is it a planet that was never meant to be alone?
Wow, we are on bypass. Cardiopulmonary bypass, that means the heart and the lungs are completely stopped, motionless. There is no blood in the heart right now, allowing the surgeon to operate on the heart, like replace a heart valve or replace a coronary artery. The bypass machine circulates all of the blood for the patient, adds in oxygen, removes carbon dioxide. The patient is completely dependent on this machine for their survival at this time. But it gets crazier because sometimes we have to completely stop this machine. This is called circulatory arrest. That's right, that means we completely stop all the circulation in the patient. There's no blood moving at all whatsoever. It's very high risk. Why would we do it? You see, the bypass machine pumps the blood into the aortic arch for distribution in the body. But when the aortic arch is the site of surgery, you have to operate on it, which means you can't have blood there. So what we have to do is we have to cool the body. Buckets of ice on the head down to 18 degrees Celsius core temperature, which is half of what it normally is. This is to reduce the metabolic demand, and then you shut everything off. all the blood is at a complete standstill. And then you have to work really fast because you only have 30-40 minutes like this. Because if you take longer, it's a hit or miss whether that patient is ever going to wake up.